mind. And I remember when I discovered this, I was like, how have I never been taught this? And it makes total logical sense. But really, I believe everybody should have learned and taught this, but we weren't. So that's why I'm here and we have books. Welcome back to the Happy Positive Energy Game podcast with me, your host, Luke Anning. I hope all you beautiful people are feeling bright and warm, and if not, that's exactly why I'm here. I really do these episodes just because it makes me feel great being able to see all of you grow alongside me as I get super uncomfortable, growing at the fastest rate possible in this happy, positive energy game of life that we have. So what's up, Badass Tribe? My name is Luke Anning, and this episode, we're going to talk about the use of attention management versus time management. So first of all, I think time management is great, but there's definitely some shortfalls. Like, let's say you time manage by using a software like Google Calendar or a 15-minute scheduler. And if you don't have these, I recommend you do, as the thing I'm going to teach you later can still be added to them. So if you don't, literally go on your phone right now, get up Google Calendar, or like become aware that that's there, it's free, or get a 15-minute scheduler if you're somebody that likes pen and paper. Just quick one though, like just imagine if you lose that 15-minute scheduler. That's why I tend to like having things more online, just because things happen. But like I said, I think one of the shortfalls of time management, number one, is planning fallacy. Now this can kind of go over into attention management, but I think it's important to bring up for you guys. So I know when we get overhyped and overconfident of what we can actually achieve in a day. So we might place tasks back to back, and then we get stressed out when they're not complete, or if we don't start one on time. And then we start losing trust within ourselves, and we start losing the ability to believe in ourselves to do them. And then we just ignore the calendar, even though we've planned it out, even though we've taken the time to plan that out. We just totally ignore it. I know lots of people who berate themselves for not completing tasks they said they would do, and that's an issue in itself. But it starts with the time management. I think also we may over or underestimate a time task, the amount of time a task takes, which means things go unaccounted for. Or you can end up with 30 minutes spare and then you just procrastinate, which can then lead to more procrastination in the latter of the day. And I think the old time management methods of this perfectly planned out day with tasks that just like seemingly fit into the day, it just doesn't account for modern day demands. Like, we have people being able to reach us at the click of a button. We feel burdened to stay connected. Like, how many of you pick up your phone when you're eating or when you're doing things? Like, there's this urgency to stay connected with the world. There's emails, texts, social media messages, notifications. People's work schedules are no longer the regular 9 to 5. People are more flexible, they have more self-accountability, and it's more free-flowing, which is great because it's less demanding and we don't have like a line manager or a boss breathing down our throat. But sometimes it can lead to actually being less productive. So I know you would have heard me talk about this beforehand in another episode, but I used to think I was working 14-hour days, but in actual fact, I was only working 10, as they weren't productive. And even then, I'll be totally honest here, I don't even know if those 10 were like as productive as they could have been before I discovered attention management. And this is why, like, it just totally blew my mind. And I remember when I discovered this, I was like, how have I never been taught this? And it makes total logical sense. But really, I believe everybody should have learned and taught this, but we weren't. So that's why I'm here and we have books. So, okay, you ready? Step one. So, first of all, I need you to get really, 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 really aware of where your energy and attention is best in the day. So for most people, this is somewhere between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. This is called your proactive attention time. So your proactive attention time is for your most complex tasks and creativity. For example, this is when I plan these episodes out. This is when I create content and I do all the hardest tasks of my business. So for you, what could that be? So I'll take an example with a client. She gets given reports from her work and she has the free flow to do that with whenever she likes. She literally works from home. The most complex elements of that for her are writing the introductions, interpreting data, and conclusions. So this is when she plans this. She plans that in her, I think for her time, it is between 9:30 a.m. and 11:30. So that's when she gets the bulk of those reports, introductions, and interpreting data and conclusions done, seeing as she doesn't necessarily have just one report to do, she has multiple. So this is going to be the same for your work. You may have multiple projects going on at once. To have just one project on is sometimes quite rare. There's honestly a lot of things going on in the background. So ask yourself, what is the most demanding aspects of that? And that's going to be going in my proactive time. Now, next step. So before we go into that, if you want to get more free advice and guidance on how to create a life that you'd be inspired by and look to do the same for others, then join my Facebook group. It's called the Badass Tribe. Pictures yellow and black, and I've actually made it super easy for you guys and tagged it in the description. This is where we share all of my highest performing, best content into, and we reshare all of my YouTube content so you never miss a thing. And you also get first invitations out for all the upcoming exclusive free masterclasses. So really, there's some badass people in there, and I wish I had this when I started my journey. So if that sounds like something you'd love, then just click the link in the description. So the next type of attention that you have is active attention. So this is where you're still pretty good on energy and attention. You still have a pretty good work ethic, but you're definitely not in full flow. You're definitely not in those full send hours where you're like zoned in, you're locked in. And for people who are up at like 5 a.m., this could be between like 6:30 and 7:30 a.m. If you get up at like 8 a.m., this could be from like 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. Like it's different for everybody. And this is why it's important to recognize what yours is. Also, it tends to be just after lunch for about like up until about 3 p.m. for some people. So that's important to recognize. This is your active attention. So this is your energy when you say process emails or attend meetings or you make those day-to-day decisions. So for my client, for example, this is when she checks her other work. She checks others' work. So she reviews others' work, she reviews her own work, and she runs over any consultations that she's having. So she still needs to be pretty present, but not as critically active as the complex aspects of her projects. So if you create content, perhaps this is when you do the actual planning for it for the day or the next week or the next day. And then you can give yourself an opportunity to take the best type of action in that time so you're more productive. The third type of attention is inactive attention. This is really when your energy and attention are low, but you know there's still some work to be done in the day. So this is the best for those button clicking activities. Maybe you schedule your content here, you reply to messages here. This is actually when I do most of my outbound marketing, as I can get into a real flow with it, but it doesn't require that much energy for me. This would kind of go against the grain of corporate marketing time management. But again, like I said, I feel the old systems don't work as well. So I smash this out, as I know it's still a crucial element for my business, but it gives me a great space to be able to take massive action, but be confident that things aren't going to go haywire because I've missed it out. And this is also when I tend to post my content, which works pretty well since that's when people are most active. So this time for people could be around from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. for most people. Sometimes as well, this inactive energy can be just after lunch as well, or just before lunch. So again, it's super crucial that you recognize where your energy is best. So like I said, now I want you to think of the same for you. What are you can journal this if you want, or you can write this down, but have a mental note while we're here. What are the times that my attention is like throughout the day? So when is my proactive period? When is my active period? Where is my inactive period? And what tasks could I place in my proactive time? What tasks could I place in my active times? What tasks could I place in my inactive times? And just remember off the back of this episode, utilize your attention management. And just remember, you're human. You are human. There's going to be aspects where you plan things out for your proactive, active, and inactive states where it doesn't work out as good as you thought. Or there may be times where like you have to move things around. But really try and lean into this being your way of planning your time. And then once you have that planned, then you can use your calendar, then you can use your schedulers. Rather than thinking, okay, I've got like these massive projects, I'm just going to fill all of my time with that. And then you're frustrated that you're not getting done as much as you could do. And then you're falling behind with other things that still need daily upkeep. So just remember that this is for increasing your productivity and increases the amount of aspects you can do for improving your daily task completion in and out of work. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I really tried to jam in as much as I could around the productive elements that I haven't talked about around attention management. But really, when you're facing this in your life and business, it can be super, super helpful for being really productive. And if anything in this was helpful, it would mean the world if you dropped a share and tagged me on your Instagram socials at LUKE full stop ANNING. That way I can shout you on my story and we can celebrate you both. We can both celebrate you stepping forward in an area of your life too. So that said, keep being the badasses that you are. Keep taking action. Be the inspiration. I appreciate you. And I hope you have an awesome day.